Ladies and gentlemen, the Whatie goes to... And anyway, now welcome to the Whaties! We're doing an award show, even though we don't.
The second annual.
The second annual
Whaties.
Next year we'll have a statue.
Yeah,
that's the goal. Is to create
just one very large one, just one big ass statue.
I would love that though.
Yeah.
Like if we had a studio space, just having a Whatie Award,
just one giant Whatie, and if you win, you can come and chisel a big chunk off of it if you want to.
It's made of chocolate.
It's made of chocolate. The Whatie is made of chocolate.
So this is our fake award show.
It's a real award show.
This is a real award show on par with the Oscars.
Yeah.
For being equally fake.
Yeah. Shots fired.
Maybe I should have shot that at the Golden Globes more.
I was just about to say, the Oscars aren't the fake one. That's the Golden Globes. You know what you did.
True. And have done for however long you've been around.
So long.
So we talk about movies all year, and we watch a bunch of new movies.
The difference between the Whaties and any of those is we don't have a shitty stand-up comic come and ruin the show.
That is true. You
just get our bad jokes.
Yeah.
See, but we're not doing that.
There's not a crowd we're trying to play to.
No.
There's
just cameras and
a pretend audience we think we have.
Hey man, they're not pretend. They're just small.
That is true.
But you're part of the army.
You are.
Thank you for enlisting.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Whatie Awards. We talk about a lot of older movies on this, a lot of weird movies because it's a recommendation podcast.
Bars.
And so this is a fun chance for us to kind of shout out some of the newer shit we've been watching.
But also a couple golden oldies at the same time.
Yes. And a couple other various film-related things and all that. So we're super excited. This list for me was pretty tough to make this year. Last year it felt a little easier.
This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
He's very confident.
I'm not at all.
So we have our list of the Whaties with only serious categories, of course.
Only serious
categories. We only do the real ones. Definitely not thirstiest moments or...
I think before we kick it off, let's talk a little bit about kind of the movies that we may have missed. Because I missed a fair few that could, should, would be a part of some of these conversations. Specifically, like when we're talking about like our favorite film of the year, or like even stuff like best cinematography. There's several movies in that list that like of the like top cinematography movies of the year, I was not able to catch for one reason or another. So just to kick it off, I mean, like the list of movies that I missed this year is Anatomy of a Fall, Fallen Leaves, All of Us Strangers, The Zone of Interest, May December, Maestro, Ferrari, Boy is Afraid, Priscilla, Saltburn, Napoleon, American Fiction, Passengers, and Godland. Those are kind of the top, like a lot of people's like favorite movie of the year or a part of that list, and I missed all of those.
Bunch of those. I saw Ferrari. I saw Anatomy of a Fall.
Did you ever catch Napoleon?
I didn't catch Napoleon.
I can't honestly. I'm honestly surprised about that one. That feels
we
like
kept trying, and then something else was out. Dude, the end of the year, they backloaded this year with all the good shit. Like so much so that a lot of it didn't come out last year.
And at the exact same time, I was in a point where I really wasn't able to go out to the theater all that often because I was so busy with other shit.
It was a weird moment where it's like all year me and Ethan would talk about a lot. I was just like, this isn't like the greatest year for me. It's good. It's a good year for movies. And then right at the end, it was like, oh shit. Oh, no. So you just saved them all.
They just blew them all up right at the very end.
So so several of those I didn't see, like American Fiction. I didn't see Zone of Interest. I didn't see, which is like high on my list.
Yeah. Did you see Fallen Leaves?
I didn't see Fallen Leaves. All of Us Strangers I didn't see.
Yeah, because that one's just like not
out. Neither is Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest had like one Q&A screening at the Alamo, but like it's sold out immediately because everyone's like, oh, we can finally see it.
Yeah.
Very frustrating. I didn't see Wonka. Not that I don't. I've heard good things about Wonka.
Yeah, I've heard it's fun. I've heard it's fun.
I haven't seen The Beekeeper. That's a 2024 movie with Jason Statham, which for sure would have made my 2023 list.
I haven't seen Argyle yet.
I haven't seen, oh God. That movie trailer is a threat.
Dude. If it was just the Henry Cavill Dula Peep movie, I'd be way more interested. The minute it like zones out or zooms out and it's like Bryce Dallas Howard. Nothing against Bryce Dallas Howard. I was more into the brick top freaking Henry Cavill. I was into it.
John Cena being there.
I was into that.
That's a great duo. How have we not come to that one yet? How has that not been a mind for everything it's worth yet?
And I like Dula Peep. I would love to see her on the big screen. I don't think she'd be like great or anything, but I think she's very pretty, and I do like Dula Peep.
Yeah. Well, shall we get to the award giving?
Yes.
You go ahead and
so to kick it off, I came up with a category for Hollywood's worst bet of the year. To give a little bit of context as to what I mean, something like Jai Courtney. I don't dislike Jai Courtney. They just kept betting on him being a huge thing, and it kept failing. The Lone Ranger, bad, weird movie that they bet a lot of money on. Just Army Hammer in general also.
Yeah.
Or like John Carter, or like even something like the Universal like Dark Universe. Like things like that. Like that, Hollywood made a lot of bets on, and those things failed. So what, in your opinion, was Hollywood's worst bet? Either something they kept trying to make happen this year, or finally, when all the chips were down, all was said and done, what was the worst bet Hollywood made?
So there's a lot of answers this year, like a lot of answers.
Yeah.
Like I think the one that hit the most like home for me was the strikes, like betting on AI.
Fascinating. Hollywood, what a great answer.
And I don't know, like the other one I'll point out, and I don't know, we haven't talked about what each other's answers are, so we don't know. So I'm trying not to step on yours, but other ones like superhero movies didn't do well this year, but there's enough good ones that did really well, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Aquaman somehow turned into maybe being profitable a little bit.
Oh, really?
Maybe. It's done a lot better than it was projected. Spider-Verse did great.
Thank you, worldwide release, probably.
That is absolutely 100% correct. But yeah, there's just a lot of like superheroes that didn't do well this year, which is a bummer. And based on some of my categories we'll talk about, is kind of funny that would be something I bring up.
Yeah.
Certain actors we bet on this year were fucking rough.
There were. Here's my honorable mention.
Yeah.
Which is the DCEU / The Flash / Ezra Miller. Yeah.
Okay,
where it's all three of those dominoes fell at the exact same moment.
Well, and on top of Ezra Miller too, but like, and I'm not trying to like jump on this discourse. I don't know enough about it to talk about, but Jonathan Majors also being
that's my winner.
Literally convicted of a crime.
Yeah.
And facing jail time when I would put Jonathan Majors as one of the biggest stars in the world 6 months ago.
Oh, 100%.
Like that man was on the top of the world.
Yeah. Disney, the largest media conglomerate in the world, put him as the main antagonist for their largest series of properties. And that bet came up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think all of I don't think that story is completely finished. For better or worse, ABC is trying to let do the redemption tour already. Like he's already doing, the tell-all interview.
Yeah.
Like they're already trying to make him a sympathetic figure, regardless of, whether he was innocent or guilty. They're like trying to make him the good guy.
And look, like just to be clear, again, convicted in a court of law.
Yeah.
So it's like I am not trying to be sympathetic for it. You know what I mean? Like
no. Yeah.
He needs to pay the penalty for what he did.
Yeah. The leaked footage that came out. I don't know, man. That doesn't look good.
That is everyone. Again, I don't want to talk too much about it just because I don't know. But like you were saying, it's just
so I would say that in my opinion, that was like the worst bet that kind of came to fruition this year. It was like how much they put into him being that star and how it probably will end.
We're starting out on a bummer.
Yeah, a little bit. But I thought it would be a little funnier, but no.
Well, look,
the DCEU as like the Flash ending the way that did is wild.
Well, I'll throw the strikes, right? That put in a serious way, put a ton of people out of work.
Yes.
And put a ton of these. But in a like maybe long term, like to put a hopeful spin on it, maybe long term thing, I think it's going to help streaming a little bit be a better thing. I think it's going to really help the writers. I think it's really going to help the actors. AI is bad. Like I always, when I talk about this, I'm sure I've talked about this on the podcast a little bit, but AI could never generate the scene from Jaws where Roy Schneider's looking at his son and his son's mimicking him. And then he leans down, he's like, give me a kiss. And he's like, why? Because I need it.
Yeah.
A computer could never generate that because a human being who can rationally think through things and spends all day just thinking about like emotional beats and whatever. I can't quite tell you why that's so amazing.
Yeah.
I can't exactly articulate it because it's beyond articulation. It just is emotion in its purest form. A computer could never do that. So the studio's trying to bet so hard on AI and it backfiring in this way. Like, look, Warner can't really take any more hits.
No.
You know what I mean? Like David Zaslav being the person running Warner is also one of the worst bets of 2020. The fact that's continued.
Yeah.
But pushing Dune is like sinking their last battleship, dude. Like if that movie doesn't do well, they're screwed.
Yeah.
And it could have been a big awards push movie for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're just, they're fucked. Like, so that for me, that's what it was. Is the bet on AI, and how
great answer,
and how much work that cost people, and how much livelihoods were harmed. It's just that was a baffling decision for me to have to like sit through for 100 or some odd days. And they also, I don't think they thought the actors would strike too, because that hasn't happened in like 60 or 70 years.
Yeah, shout out.
So good on them for jumping in.
The crap that they were trying to get away with is
hilarious.
All just hideous.
I wish the DGA had backed them. I really do, but it's the situation, they chose not to. But oh well. Anyway, that's that. The Whaties. The Whaties.
Spencer, what is our next award?
Our next award goes to a not movie thing.
To a not movie thing.
But a YouTube video essay / series. I'll give my answer just so quick because I think there's only one like continuous series I really watched on Patrick H. Willems.
Hell yeah.
That dude is doing like long form narrative shit in his
nobody's doing it like he's doing
in his video essays. He's done multiple feature length video essays and they're all really good. He has one on a whodunit style video essay on who killed cinema. And it's really good. So check those out. I watch all of those, so they're all really rad. But anyway,
I've got two honorable mentions. One is the work of Dan Olson. This year he came out with This Is Financial Advice. But the one that really kind of like sold me, like the one that I think is like his highest achievement so far, in my opinion, is In Search of a Flat Earth. That essay, that documentary is phenomenal, very interesting, very well made. I can't overhype it. I think that thing's phenomenal. The other one is the work of John Boyce. He had the history of the Vikings, came out this year. I haven't watched it yet. It's like 11 parts or something, so it's like literally like 11 or 13 hours of movies. It's a lot. But the one that really meant a lot to me this year was the history of the Atlanta Falcons. Weirdly enough, that story is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. That story is very, very, very cool, and the way that they tell it in that format is phenomenal. But my winner this year for best YouTube video essay / series was Psych Odyssey by Double Fine Productions. Holy shit. I brought it up on the podcast earlier. This was my recommendation a few weeks ago. I think if you ever want to make a creative project at a large scale with dozens of people and a ton of money involved, but you still want to have that creativity element a part of it, I think Psych Odyssey should be a must-watch for everyone in that scenario, because it is fascinating. I mean, it tells the story of how the team at Double Fine made the game Psychonauts 2. The documentary series is over the course of 7 years. 7 years making that game. And it is like fascinating to watch the ebbs and flows of that production, the ups and downs, the people who get hired and then fired, and the people that get hired with like thinking with these doe eyes about this industry that they love so much, and then kind of realizing that this isn't what they thought it was going to be, is absolutely fascinating. Like, I can't recommend it enough. I think it is like one of the most interesting and best things that like is just for free on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's just insane to me. Like, and the level of access that the team at Two Player Productions or Player Two, I can't remember, the level of access that they have to the team at Double Fine is kind of bewildering because they don't always look good. Mm-hmm. In fact, they look kind of bad a lot. I think it it shines a good light on a lot of good things about the team at Double Fine, but it takes a good hard look at that team, and I think it is really, really, really cool that exists. And I think, like I said, if you want to be a part of a large scale production with a lot of money involved, I think that's a must watch. Whether you're in video games or movies or music production or whatever it is, I think that's a must watch. So
there we go. YouTube.
This one's for you, YouTube. And our next award is Best 2023 Double Feature.
In a year with Barbenheimer, what really was
What's
the best?
Real double
what's
feature?
the real best double feature? And I'm curious what you think, because to me there's like a pretty obvious answer for me.
Yeah.
What is yours?
Barbenheimer.
So Barbenheimer's yours.
Like, what's the other answer?
Well, here's my thing. You didn't do Barbenheimer, and you also said you wouldn't like to watch those back to back.
No.
So my approach was, what pairs the best? Oppenheimer and Godzilla -1.
Okay. I did not realize that was the I thought the award was, which movies came out at the same time.
Okay, so it'd be that or Saw Patrol.
That was where
and you still picked wrong.
That's where I thought you were headed. Was
No.
Saw Patrol.
Best double feature. I just meant like what two 2023 movies pair so well together.
And I think you're exactly right.
And because Godzilla -1 is like a sombering look at a Godzilla story, man.
Yeah.
Godzilla -1's great. Like that movie rules.
Holy shit. Yeah.
That should be an episode. We should do an episode on Godzilla
100%. I think we should do the original Gojira.
Oh, I haven't seen Godzilla.
I have not either.
Oh, okay, perfect. Done deal. That's coming soon.
Godzilla -1 is very much in the same vein as Gojira, the original Gojira. Just because that one is very nuclear coded in a way that the later ones got like
more fun and
like
poppy
and crazy and silly.
Like if you ever want to track like you can see this in superhero media a lot, like old comic books, like as the public eye changed. Like the easiest,
as the Red Scare happened.
The easiest way to do it is just watch a bunch of Godzilla movies in order of release and see how goofy they get and then how serious they get. It's pretty wild. But yeah, anyway, next Whatie,
what's the next Whatie?
The next Whatie is sleeper movie of the year. What is the most slept on movie of 2023?
Yeah, I
think there were several. Yeah, I think we had it was a year of quite good movies that not a lot of people really talked about as much as they should have.
I agree.
So, this is baffling to me what my honorable mention is, because I love the Ninja Turtles. I love the Ninja Turtles, and TMNT Mutant Mayhem is my honorable mention.
Yeah,
that movie's amazing. The animation is so good. The script is so good. It has one of the best jokes of the year.
Yeah.
He's mollywopping me.
He's mollywopping me. Oh, yeah.
But my answer and the Whatie I'm giving for most slept on movie of the year is Bottoms.
Whoa,
dude,
yeah.
Bottoms,
that's another one I missed. I had tickets to that and I just didn't.
Bottoms came out and had its moment. It had its like little tiny bit, and then no one talked about it. And I think Bottoms is one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah,
it is like probably just the best comedy plural. Like probably, you know what I mean? And it's so good. Everyone should watch Bottoms. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was an Amazon production. And
okay. Watch it before January 29th when they add ads to everything.
Yeah, that's true. God damn it. I hate you, Amazon Prime.
I've got two honorable mentions. Air.
Oh, God. Oh, why didn't I mention Air?
Air was so good, and nobody fucking cared. Yeah. And it blows my mind. The other one was Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That movie was so slept on. That movie was a bucket of fun.
Another one that had its time in the sun, but it was way too brief. Like,
yeah, like it didn't. It barely made. Like it barely beat its budget. Like, I don't think it made money.
Yeah. Although they're talking about doing another one.
Yeah. Like, I really hope because it was really, really, really good. Hopefully it's had a good past or a good on-demand shelf life.
I think this is a great answer for slept on movie because I think it didn't do as well as it was received. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think if they did another one, it would have that post-life, but it would also have everyone not doubting it.
Yeah.
Because the marketing for that movie was fine. Like
it was okay.
Nothing
at best.
special. The trailers were like made it seem like a stock adventure movie. They didn't really give enough of the personality.
It made it seem fun, but not like good.
Yeah, and Dungeons and Dragons, stay tuned because Dungeons and Dragons will maybe come up more later. That's a great answer.
Yeah. My actual answer is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. That movie fucking ruled. Why did nobody talk about this movie?
Before we Past Lives also needs to be added to this slept on list, like Past Lives 100%.
Yeah, I think that movie will get some flowers through the award season.
Hopefully, yes.
It fucking better. We'll get to that later.
But anyway, Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant fucking Mayhem. That movie ruled. That movie was so fun. Like there are several like movies that I've seen this year that like I really liked, I really appreciated, I thought were great movies that I just like didn't find myself thinking about a lot. I found myself thinking about TMNT a lot.
Yep.
The movie is so good and so fun and nobody gave a shit and it really bothers me because that movie fucking ruled.
It is such a reinvention of the Turtles in a way that like isn't disrespectful and works, you know, like I
mean, like we talked about on the TMNT episode, I honestly think that the like TMNT fan base doesn't give a shit about canon.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like. They're all just like, I don't know what's cool to me.
Like, it's like they eat pizza. That's all. That's the most important part.
They're eating pizza. But dude, there's a dude named Shredder. I'm cool.
Here's a category we should have had, and I'll mention this because they're in this. But a category we should have had is actor MVP of the year. Because I'm trying to think of other examples. I mean, Jonathan Majors, if all the shit had gone down, right? But the
bets that worked.
Yeah, bets that Iowa Debris.
Yeah, no joke.
Bottoms.
Yeah.
Fucking The Bear.
Yeah.
TMNT. Like Iowa Debris was everywhere and great in everything.
Yeah.
Like.
She's got a good bit on I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's got a little bit.
She's on Letterboxd and is really funny on there. Come on the pod, IO.
Please, I love you.
That would literally be. I will just sit here and ask you questions about
this.
The
is
Bear.
The most legit. Please, please. We love you.
You're a Golden Globe winner, but come on our little podcast.
Come on the little podcast that could get you on the pod.
Anyway, so that is that, but. Mutant Mayhem and fucking I legitimately it took a lot for me not to put Mutant Mayhem too because I love the Turtles and no one talked about that movie. But Bottoms I also felt was just like, man.
Bottoms feels very, very deserving. As somebody who missed it, as somebody who slept on it. Like I didn't sleep on it. I really wanted to go see it. I wasn't able to.
I think you were gonna and then something came up and then it just kind of. It was also not in theaters for very long. Yeah. And so it was like one of those.
I had like a Q&A screening too that I missed. I was so mad. It doesn't matter. The next Whatie is favorite movie we talked about this year on the pod. So what was the favorite movie that you talked about? Either it came out this year or not, like just whatever. What your favorite movie
we covered
that we covered on the pod?
We had a lot. I had a hard time kind of narrowing it down because we
this is one of the ones that I didn't choose one specifically. I have just a long list of ones that I really liked.
So I tried to make my honorable mention is RRR.
Yeah.
Because I think as a movie, that's my favorite movie we talked about this year, I think. But it's a recommendation podcast, so I wanted to pick one that you brought to the table for it. And so the one that I've thought about, I think, the most throughout the year, and the one that has informed me is like we talk about lessons, we talk about being filmmakers, After Yang.
Fucking A.
Dude,
Hell
After Yang, I have thought about all year.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks, I just start thinking about a random scene from that movie.
Yeah.
And I've like held off on rewatching it because I'm like I need to be in the right space to re-experience.
Let me know when you are because I'll watch it with you.
After Yang is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful movie, and oh man,
that movie is like stupid how good it is.
To the point that I went and watched one of his other movies, Columbus, and Columbus is also brilliant.
I really want to watch that one. I know that'll be a podcast episode.
Oh, for sure. But so After Yang I think is it for me. I think that's the one where I kept thinking about it.
I've got a bunch.
Yeah.
RRR was, I put it at the top of the list, but it was not the first thing I thought of. Do you know what the first thing I thought of was?
What was it?
Scream.
Scream
Fucking rules, man.
Oh, that makes me really happy.
Scream fucking rules. All of them rule. Even 2 and 3 rule.
Yeah. Yep.
3 less so, but 2
3
for
still
sure.
got some shit.
2 is way better than people give it credit for. Just the first Scream is phenomenal. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Why it took me so long to watch it, I will never understand. That was the first thing I thought of. Everything Everywhere All at Once. We talked about it last year on the Oscars episode. I just love that movie. The Exorcist. Holy shit.
Okay, I think that might be our best episode of the year.
Exorcist and Sorcerer.
Dude, that I went back and listened to. I listened to my own podcast. Don't judge me. I just went back to be like, I wonder kind of what we were thinking then, right? Which is part of the reason I wanted to do this is to build a catalog of movie discussion, whatever. That episode rules. We had such a good conversation.
Yeah. That movie, that's another one of those movies that I've just thought about a lot this year.
I've thought about Sorcerer a bunch. So Sorcerer was on my short list of that one. Yeah,
that movie is very interesting and very cool. I don't love that movie.
No,
but man, it's weird. It's
there's
cool.
20 minutes in there where I'm the most tense I've ever been in my life.
No kidding. And the Blair Witch Project. I never expected myself to like that movie as much as I did.
But it's really good.
It is really good, guy. Turns out the 2 of the most famous horror movies of all time actually pretty good.
Yep.
And then the last one was just my Deacon's deep dive. Just watching.
Maybe the best thumbnail of the year.
It was my favorite. Probably.
That or the Dragon Ball Z one is also
very good.
Which Dragon Ball Z was one of the most fun episodes. I listened to that one again recently.
That was a blast.
Dragon Ball Z was such a good.
But yeah,
such a good one.
It was really, really, really cool to take that deep of a dive on. I feel like a lot of people will do that with directors and stuff. You know what I mean? That was an idea we had for a podcast at one point. Was just going through literally every single movie that a director made. And I feel like that's very common. And no tea, no shade. I'm not saying anything bad about people that do that. But there was something fascinating about doing it for Roger Deakins, a cinematographer, seeing how multiple directors used his talents and how he adapted to other filmmakers' style and taste. Really, really fascinating. And we got to meet that dude.
Yeah.
Which was the coolest experience ever. I made him laugh, and I will always look back on that fondly.
As you should.
Yeah.
It was, and I stress enough. It was not just a chuckle. It was a head back, kind of actually
Best
and then he
moment.
came back at you with a quip, which was fun.
Yeah, and then I totally didn't get it because I was nervous, and now I feel very dumb about it. Every time I think about that, I get a little. I'm like, damn, I didn't get it.
Hey man,
I was so nervous. He's one of my fucking heroes.
Dude's knighted. I mean, right?
That dude's literally a freaking knight.
So
yeah. Favorite thing that we talked on the pod this year.
That's a good one. All right, so the next category for the Whaties is series/show.
My answers aren't good for this, so I'm gonna go first if you don't mind.
I'm curious. Mine are very me coded.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of shows this year. So the one that I actually watched this year that came out this year was The Last of Us. I have a lot of issues with that show. I did like a lot about it. I have some issues with it, but that's why it's my honorable mention. And then the other thing I watched this year didn't come out this year, and it's Andor. That shit rips.
Andor's the best.
That show rips so hard. It didn't come out this year, but fuck it. This is the Whaties. We do what we want to do.
Yeah, we make our own rules. Get up here.
We do what we Whatie do.
I think we have to end the podcast.
Okay.
So
yeah, Andor is my winner this year. Spencer, take it away.
I watched a little more, but I didn't keep up with 2023 TV as well as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I watched also a lot of TV got pushed or shoved or beaten to death by the strikes.
Yeah.
But of the ones I watched, The Last of Us was an honorable mention. I too have very complicated feelings on that. What's up?
I have one more honorable mention.
Throw it out.
Abbott Elementary. Holy shit, that show is so good. I want that. Oh, I want that next season so bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, give it to me.
That's one of the ones I really want to watch, but I waited because of the strike. I was like, I can't. I'm gonna get too in love with it.
Oh, yes, you will.
Anyway, so The Last of Us is an honorable mention. I think The Fall of the House of Usher. Really good show. Yeah. I think a little slept on in terms of his work because when I recommended it on an episode of the podcast, I said he was stretching different muscles for himself, and I hold to that. I think it's a really fascinating show to watch. I got into The Bear, and The Bear season 2 came out this year. The Bear season 2 is so good.
Yeah.
But my favorite show of 2023 without even a question, Barry season 4.
Hell
the last
yeah.
season of Barry, man. Barry was my favorite show on TV, favorite show every year that it had a season come out. This show's brilliant. It's perfect. I love it dearly, and it's over now. And Bill Hader, please make something soon. I need your directorial.
He's making something cool. Like he's doing something.
Apparently, he's got kind of a horror movie in the works. And I'm like, I want that more than anything on planet Earth.
Give me a Jordan Peele 2.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. He would, dude. He is so Coen Brothers-esque in his directing. Like, you can watch it across the seasons, like evolve. It's crazy and it's so cool.
Okay. I just had a fun idea for the B segment. I don't have a B segment this week because we have a lot to talk about.
Show, yeah.
We should go through our 2023 stats.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a little wrap up of our stats. Just talk about like who we watched the most this year and that kind of thing.
Anyway, that's that series.
Wonderful answer. I have
Barry season 4.
I still to this day I think it's very funny. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, God damn, this is good. Spencer, you should watch this. And then I haven't watched a single episode since.
Yep.
I'm such an asshole when it comes to that. I do
Dude,
that
TV,
so
you
often.
do that a lot with TV.
I do that
funny.
a lot with TV. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Ozark. So cool. I really liked it. Never went back.
The Boys, you got like a season and a half in or something.
See, I got into season 2. I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. My brain is broken. ADHD. What can I say?
What are you gonna
do? What is the next award, Spencer?
The next award is our What Is Us Physical Media Award.
Hell yeah.
So we are big physical media boys.
And do you want to do honorable mentions first, each, and then we can do the awards each? Or do you have
I don't know that I have.
Do you not have an honorable mention?
No, I don't know that I have a set in stone. I just brought they're right off camera.
We'll just do show and tell.
Show and tell.
We'll just go back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know if I have because like a lot of mine are not 2023 releases.
Oh, none of mine. Oh, actually, one is.
They're one of mine is a 2023, but they're like just the cool shit that I've gotten this year. So like I'm just gonna start. I bought the Scream Factory Friday the 13th box set, which is like thank you. You should look into this this box set, like the history of it and why it's so special.
Yeah.
Like the rights to get all of these movies into one set,
fascinating,
is insane. Yeah. Like. It's fascinating. I've only watched a couple of them. I don't even love these movies, but this set is like the coolest thing ever.
Sick
like,
as hell, man.
I had to. It was so cheap when I bought it. I was like, yeah, I gotta. Look, I'll show comic books here in a bit. But
spoiler alert for a future
thing. Then I got the Exorcist on VHS, which is so cool, and I like it. It's fun.
I liked it.
So that, and then another one is like. I want to own this movie in every format, so I'm almost there.
Yeah.
I have like one technically, and then if a miracle happened, I could get the last one.
What are the other 2? Well, actually,
Beta. I need the Betamax for this movie, and I need a film reel for this movie, which will never happen.
Oh, sweet pea. There's more. Don't worry about it. There's other versions of this movie that exist on other formats.
It's Rocky, and I got the laser disc of Rocky.
Hell yeah.
Brett got this for me. It's a weird, cool
careful,
cover.
It's almost about to slide out. No, don't you fall it. It's so cool.
It's so sick. I'm so into this. I don't want to get into laser discs, and I won't, but this was the one. What are the other formats?
I'm not going to tell you.
You have to.
Why?
Because I want to know.
Because it might be a present for you in the future, so shove off.
And then the last one, which is a 2023 release, was the John Wick box set that comes in a book.
It's so sick,
like,
dude.
If you open it, there's steel books inside with pictures.
It's really cool.
And like if you open it, the first couple pages of it are like a book, and then you unfold it, and it's like the hollowed out book. This was one of those that was way too much money. It's only the first 3, and I couldn't help it. It's too cool.
It's been sitting on our shelf over here for a long time. And it's just so fucking sick.
They were an upgrade. They were an upgrade. I had the movies in well, that's not true. I had the third one in 4K already. But
did you really?
Yeah, the third one's 4K. But now I have all of them in 4K, and I bought John Wick 4 on like regular Blu-ray. Yeah. So yeah, that's
it's sick as hell.
Those are my physical media like standouts this year of things that I bought. I bought a lot of physical media this year, like a lot, like way too much. A lot of comics, a lot of movies. Anyway, your list of cool physical media things.
So I've got my first one is I didn't buy it. It was actually given to us by my father-in-law. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark on VHS, and it has an advertisement coming to a theater near you, May 25th, 1984. For Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So this is before Temple of Doom came out and is advertising Temple of Doom. Apparently this is actually quite rare and is actually worth kind of a good bit of money, which I think is fascinating and hilarious. And so that one's that. My next one is something I stole from my dad. So Dad, if you're watching this, turn it off. You shouldn't be watching this anyways. I'm kidding. It's the Terminator anthology. It's just really sick. Like
it's a very cool set.
It's Spencer, will you hold my mic? Yeah. Thank you, Spencer. It's literally got every freaking Terminator movie up until Salvation, I think. It's got Terminator Salvation. And it's got it all, man. It's got it all, man. It's got it all. There's like multiple versions of the movies and stuff. It's really, really, really cool. I really like this. Thank you, Dad. Please don't make me give it to you. Don't make me give it back. Okay, thanks. Love you, Shane. I can take this back. Thank you. The next one I bought kind of on a whim. I think we were at Half Price Books just because I thought it was really cool. It's the West Side Story 50th Anniversary Edition. So it comes with... What does it come with, Spencer? It comes with... it's a 4-disc set containing the... movie on Blu-ray, a Blu-ray special features, DVD feature film and special features, and a tribute CD with songs and music. So it's got like other performances of the songs by other artists and stuff. And there's like a couple of books and there's like posters in there. This is sick as hell.
It's a very comprehensive, cool set.
And I bought it for like $8 or something. Yeah. It costs like nothing. I was like, why? This is really cool.
I came close to buying a like kind of equivalent for Casablanca.
Oh, that would have been sick.
But I wanted the 4K of Casablanca because I heard the 4K of that movie is like incredible.
Oh, hell yeah.
I waited. I regret it. I regret it. Because I did buy Casablanca on VHS this year.
I'm gonna hold off on my last one because it will come back later.
Sick. Okay. Shane, what is our next award?
That's a great question, then? Spencer. I might give me 1 second while I vamp and try to figure out what our next one is.
You want me to read it?
Nope, I got it.
Cool.
It is movie going moment. What was the Whatie Award for your favorite movie going moment of the year?
I'm gonna pass this to you first because I think your answer is an honorable mention for me, but for funny reasons.
I've got like 3. I've got 3 honorable mentions.
Oh, then rattle them off. Yeah.
The first one was going and seeing. I Bet You're Wondering How I Got Here, which is a film by local filmmaker Ryan Pauly. He did like a friends and family screening, and it was just really, 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 really cool. Like he had all these like really awesome like trailers for other stuff, and like the pre-show reel was very like Alamo Drafthouse-esque. And like here are some of the things that inspired this movie. It was just a really, really, really cool screening, and it was really cool to be around all of these amazing local filmmakers and people of the community. It was a really, really cool environment to be in. My next one was seeing Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter IMAX. There ain't no other way to watch that movie if you ask me. I haven't watched it again since, and I'm kind of terrified too, because hot damn, that movie was cool as hell in 70 millimeter IMAX. My next honorable mention is seeing Blade Runner 2049 at the Texas Theater, going into the Q&A with Roger Deakins. The Q&A was interesting.
Q&A was awful.
Lots of really bad questions. Some I could give a pass on just because like if you aren't like really familiar with the way that Roger Deakins thinks about his movies, you could ask kind of the wrong question to him. But even then, there were just some like actually weird and disrespectful questions.
Yeah.
And just people like as Breck has said, working on a tight 5, just like going up there and trying to make him laugh. It's like chill, like stop. I know I made him laugh, but that's because I'm better than you.
Yeah,
so stop.
That's true.
And so yeah, that was watching the movie and then like getting to hear him talk about it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
My number one of the year was seeing the assassination of Jesse James in 35 millimeter immediately after meeting Roger Deakins.
Yeah.
Like that movie
with an introduction by Roger Deakins.
With an introduction by Roger Deakins. That screening felt perfect for that movie because it was an old print of Jesse James, and so it had its bumps and bruises, but man, it made that movie feel so much older than it is.
Oh yeah,
in a really, really, really cool way that I think only made the movie better.
Yeah.
I don't love that movie, I really, really, really like it. But watching it like that, I think is the way to watch it, and was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah,
those are my winners.
Yeah, I saw Oppenheimer. I saw both of those. Honorable mentions. Mine is just a funny one. So I hate unruly crowds. I hate them. They infuriate me.
Yeah.
One movie this year was improved by an unruly crowd. One. And that movie was Saltburn.
Yeah.
We went and saw Saltburn late, a 10 o'clock showing. I had to be at work at 6 the next day. I was falling asleep during the trailers. Some teenagers snuck into that movie and were watching it, and they had their little blankies and their little whatever. They thought, oh, the new Jacob Elordi movie, let's go stare at him.
Nope.
They weren't prepared for some of the shit they had to watch. This is not an exaggeration. This is exactly how loud they were being behind us anytime anything slightly weird happened. They would go, oh my God, I'm literally gagging. That's a quote. I'm going to be clear. And so me and Breck are sitting there passing our fake cigarette back and forth thinking this is cool or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at one point this guy goes, he's sick in the head. He's sick in the head. And I just kept looking back at them. But afterwards I was like, man, that made the movie better.
Yeah.
It made it funny. I don't know. But the whole time that crowd, I want to lock that crowd in a theater and make them watch Antichrist.
Yeah.
Or I Saw the Devil or fucking Funny Games. Something that's actually fucked up.
Yeah.
And, I want to make them do it. Best theater going experience it's the only time
Hilarious.
I have ever enjoyed a terrible fucking crowd, because Saltburn was probably not very good.
Yeah,
but it was incredibly fun to watch like that.
Yeah.
So whenever you inevitably watch it, I'll just sit behind you and do all that at all the points.
Improve my experience
just for you.
Live vicariously.
The real answer is either the Deacon stuff or the 70 millimeter print of Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
But the fun
the
fun answer that I talk about a lot is Saltburn.
That is a great answer.
Anyway.
And the next Whatie Award is the award for Best Action Scene.
Oh, you don't have one that I have.
Oh.
I have Thirstiest Movie Moment.
Oh, I think I accidentally reversed them.
Oh, what do you... We'll do action scene. We said action scene first.
Let's do action scene. Is it the same? Are we going to have the same answer?
You may be more specific than mine. I cheated and went kind of broad.
I went broad at first with the movie that we're talking about, and then I went to the...
There's one answer.
The one... It's John Wick 4.
Yep.
And the specific scene is the dragon breath shotgun fight.
Oh, the top-down fight?
Yeah.
Dog, coolest shit I've seen in so long.
Yeah.
I cheated. I put the entire third act of that movie.
I put the entire movie at first.
Well, okay, but my justification for the third act is, I need to be so clear. The third act of that movie, not the climax, not the final fight, the third act of that movie starts with 45 to 50 minutes left, and it is never, ever, ever boring.
No,
and it is one continuous fight scene through multiple locations, multiple types of weapons, multiple scenarios, multiple buildings, multiple areas of Paris.
Yeah. Only until it gets to that final
When it gets
point.
to the climax, it slows down. Because there's even a part where he falls down more stairs than any human being should be able to. I genuinely think he's sexual for him.
He's a sadist.
Yeah.
Or masochist?
And then he fights his way right back up that same flight of stairs, and I'm never bored. This is a guy who has gotten so good at what he does that his prop, the gun shooting blanks, will jam, and instead of everyone going, cut, 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 and him holding it out like this, and the stunt guys come and take care of it, he just unjams it on camera and goes back to fighting.
Yeah.
The display of martial arts,
the gun fu,
and to be completely clear, the artistry of the filmmaking in John Wick 4, it's
that allows that
maybe the prettiest action movie ever made. It's
one could
that
argue,
and Mad Max.
One could argue,
dude,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in there.
Yes, the last act of that movie is one of the greatest action scenes ever made, let alone just the best of this year.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, John Wick 4 is so good.
My honorable mention is the killer, the fist fight in the Floridian's house. That ripped shit. That was a really cool
I'll throw
scene.
out a couple others then. TMNT had that one like match cut fight that kind of referenced Old Boy. Shit. And we don't talk about animation enough when it comes to this because Spider-Verse also had some fucking bangers, man.
That's
like
very true.
Great ones. Dungeons and Dragons honestly had great action.
That's
like
very
really
true.
good action.
Yeah.
There's like a lot
really
of
fun, really inventive because it's like doing a different thing. It's like, it really feels like shout out to that movie because it really does capture the essence of a D&D campaign in the best way.
Oh yes,
like really like they're doing all the D&D shit. Only instead of a turn being roughly six, like a turn is roughly like 6 seconds of time. I think it's all happening all at once in the best way. It's really cool.
And I'll throw out just another one that's different than like fighting, like the third act of Godzilla -1.
Yeah,
a really, really, really great action sequence. Anyway, a lot of pretty good action this year.
100%.
And then just fucking one that stood so far above everything that it wasn't even a
that has ever been made. Like stood so far above everything else ever.
Yeah. So good that they kind of went, I don't know if we can make another one of these. Like we kind of did everything.
We kind of did it though, guys.
Yeah, like
either that or it's going to go very much back to the roots of John Wick 1. Like they're just going to we're just going to reset kind of.
Okay, so then the thirstiest movie moment.
And for this moment, I'm going to crack open a cold one.
I'm so curious what your answer. I had a kind of tough time.
I had a very tough time
until it wasn't like last year where you just any scene with Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah.
This year I found it and I found a pretty definitive one for me. But I want to hear yours. I think because you didn't see the movie that I'm talking.
Yeah.
About. That was my laundry supposed to be done.
How dare you? Mine was the entirety of the movie Poor Things.
Fucking A, I get it.
Yorgos Lanthimos, you're a perv, dude.
Yeah.
In the fun way.
Yeah.
In the fun way. That movie's horny as hell, man. In a way that like isn't like leering and gross.
No, I agree with that. When it approaches those things, it's very much for a reason, and it feels very controlled.
And it feels very much more empowered.
Yes.
Than so many others that are similar to it. I mean, it's very much commenting on others. My answer is literally the entirety of Poor Things.
That's a great fucking answer. Like, it's just kind of right. Mine is Magic Mike's Last Dance. The titular Last Dance in that movie is so fucking sexy. They're dancing on a thing. There's rain going. They're sliding across, taking their clothes off. God damn it, dude. Channing, do that to me. Like
Channing, come on the pod.
I would love to have Channing Tatum on this podcast. Yeah. Don't even joke about that.
No, I love that guy.
I love Channing Tatum. I think Breck pointed this out to me. Channing Tatum, or maybe I pointed this. I can't remember. Channing Tatum is what Chris Pratt wants to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Channing Tatum is doing what everyone wants Chris Pratt to be doing.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum's just the fucking man.
Yeah.
I love Channing Tatum. He belongs in the next Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Dude.
Like,
amen.
Like, right? Like, agree. He would fit in so well. He would
fit right in.
And he's so down to hang. Like, he pops up and stuff. But anyway, it's Magic Mike's Last... The Magic Mike trilogy rules, but Magic Mike's Last Dance is a particularly sexy couple of dances in there, and it's very good. I like that movie.
Hell yeah.
That's another pretty slept-on movie this year. I thought it was really good.
Pretty slept on.
And there we go. The next Whatie, would you like me to call it out?
Yeah, what's the next award?
So the next Whatie is music, video, or album. So what's your Whatie for music this year? I don't have one.
Okay, cool.
Because I think I listened to a lot of older music this year. Like, I will just say the most listened to album was Ethel Cain's newest album. Like an aggressive amount, like too much, like someone should check on me if I keep listening to it.
I might have you beat with that one though. Oh, I listened to that one a lot.
Like mine was like several thousand minutes of just that album.
Okay, maybe it might not, but it might have been close.
I listened to it like 15 or 25 times in entirety, and then a lot of other times just kind of skimming it.
I listen to that shit a lot too.
It's such a good album.
Actually, you know what? fuck it. Let's pull out Spottish stats and let's see where my stats are lining up. But actually, screw that. My real answer is, if you know me at all, it will not be a surprise. This was also one of a piece of physical media that was going to be a part of my physical media list, but now it is here. It is Norm by Andy Schaaf. I have talked at length about how much I love Andy Schaaf and how much I love him as not only a musician but a storyteller. And I think Norm is possibly the peak of his. He not like to the peak as if he was going to drop off, but he is continuing to rise in his storytelling ability through the medium of music. I think there are very few, if any at all, people doing anything like he's doing in music. And I think Norm is maybe one of the best examples of it. For the longest time, like my favorite album of his was The Party. Still one of my favorite albums of all time. And Norm might just edge it out. It is so good. It is so well written. It is so well made. He is so talented. Holy shit. So it's like, all of these, all of his albums are concept albums. So they all tell a story, whether through, one person's perspective or multiple people's perspective. The Party is kind of famous for the fact that it's like multiple people all at the exact same party. But Norm takes place between a couple of people's different perspectives. One perspective is from a guy who has fallen in love with a girl that he doesn't know, and he begins to stalk her. And the other perspective is God. And it is just such a fascinating look at how he sees an omnipotent figure not really understanding how love works. Absolutely fascinating, absolutely beautiful, heart-wrenching, and damn it if the music doesn't slap too.
There we go.
Norm by Andy Schaaf. It might be my favorite thing that came out this year. Like just thing.
High praise.
I absolutely love it. I've listened to it nonstop.
Love it. And the next Whatie.
This
is a me one.
That's a him one. This one is the Whatie for best comic.
I read so many comics this year, but I tried to limit this to just 2023 release. I'm going to show you my pile.
You're going to do what, dude?
You heard me. Only the latest 2 came out this year, but the series has been going since 2021. And it is Nightwing by Tom Taylor. So this is pretty much it right now. There's a couple issues after this. This is like the best ongoing series in comics right now.
Hell yeah.
It is so beyond, it's playing with form. There are issues done entirely in first person perspective. There are issues done entirely in panoramas, like tracking through a page, and then you flip to the next page and it's a continuation of that track. Like, the art is great. It has a better understanding of its characters than any other comic with these characters in them, period, I think.
Ooh.
It is just absolutely brilliant. If you like Batman at all and you like Robin and the Bat Family, this is the ultimate book to read.
Yeah.
It is, if you need any incentive if you're a Batman fan, issue 100 for Nightwing is the first issue where Dick Grayson ever calls Batman Dad. He's called him one of his fathers. He's called him these things, but he's never called him Dad. And as a lifelong Batman and Dick Grayson and Nightwing fan, that genuinely made me emotional that they did that. And Tom Taylor's a great writer. He's really fun. And this is a great, fantastic series that I recommend to everyone who's read anything Batman. It's that's it. That's one of the best things I read, let alone 2023 books. It's phenomenal.
Hell yeah.
Nightwing. Funny for me to talk about superheroes at the beginning and then be superheroes! Which is funny. But anyway, after that one, biggest laugh of the year. Mine is really out of pocket. Might just be me that thinks this.
Yeah.
My biggest laugh came from Priscilla. And I can't say because you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But there's a part in Priscilla and it has to do with a book. That scene, I started shaking and sweating. I was trying not to ruin the movie.
Is it supposed to be funny?
I couldn't tell you. No, okay, here's the thing. It is like it is. It's supposed to make you kind of be like Elvis is such a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But I think the joke part of it comes in like this. It's like it's that scene that I'm talking about, a little vignette, and then a hard cut to the joke. But the part that made me laugh the hardest was the couple of line reads he has, and he's wearing these little glasses. Fuck, dude, I was like inconsolable. I still occasionally I just look at my hands and quote it. Like funniest thing in the year. Priscilla's a good movie. Priscilla's a very emotional movie, hard movie to watch at times, but fuck if that wasn't the funniest thing that I saw in a movie all fucking year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
mine is I am struggling to think of the word that is used. Fuck.
What's the movie?
Barbie. It's the Ken line. What is it? Glorious.
Oh.
Sublime. Is that? And that made me die. I thought that was hilarious.
Dude.
Sublime.
Pitch Perfect joke.
Perfect.
Barbie is filled with Pitch Perfect jokes,
Dude,
but
that movie is hilarious. That movie is so much.
One of the funniest movies of the year.
So funny.
Another great one is, are you watching The Godfather? It's like her breaking The Godfather.
I also agree. That's also
so good. Anyway, biggest laugh. There it is.
And the next award is biggest surprise.
Take it away. What do you got?
You go first. You keep making me go first. You go first.
I went first on the last one. Biggest laugh.
I went first on the last one before that.
Okay, fine. I'll go first.
No.
No, it's too late. I want to go first.
Okay, so what is the biggest surprise? What like the movie that surprised
I think just movie that surprised us.
Cool.
Movie that, and for me, it's just Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I was shocked how good that movie was because I knew I would have fun, but I didn't think I'd like really, really dig it.
Yeah.
And I really, really dig Dungeons and Dragons.
That is my honorable mention for sure.
Shocking amount of craft in that movie too, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, I think. But it's a really, really, really cool movie. And if you slept on it in theaters, like watch it at home. It's get a group of friends who all like fun adventure movies or D&D or fantasy, or
all of the above.
Just get together and watch it because it's great.
Or just like a good fun movie.
It's got a great cast. It's got a great energy, a sense of humor. Dungeons and Dragons was a huge shock for me, and I loved it.
That is my honorable mention. My winner, excuse me, pause for effect, is The Creator.
Oh, cool.
I did not. The trailers did nothing for me.
Yeah,
and all of the we talked about this on the pause at length, so I'm not going to get into it in depth. Is like all of the hype of like, oh, it was shot on a $3,000 camera, like a consumer camera. All that does nothing for me. I don't like that conversation. Because it doesn't actually mean what people think it means. But The Creator, I still really, really liked that movie. That movie is much better than I kind of thought it was going to be based off of the trailer, because the trailer did like nothing for me. But yeah, that movie was good. That movie was like really, really good. Yep. That one was a big surprise.
Why the 4Ks aren't available in stores, I'll never know. So I have to order that one at some point. But I love that movie. That's a really cool movie. It's a really good one.
It's a really good one.
I think one of the best duos of the year, which we may talk about here.
100p. That's a great answer. That's a great answer for that. And the next award is most emotional scene / moment.
I wonder if ours will be from the same movie. I'm not sure.
I have a feeling it could be.
I'll just give my. For me, it was the last scene of Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I
mine isn't the last scene, but it is in the Iron Claw.
So I think for me, that whole movie, I'm sitting on like the precipice. And look, like and for personal reasons, that movie was really hard to watch for like things that have happened in my life.
Yeah.
And a very tough, scary thing to watch at times.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah.
I think Iron Claw's brilliant in being entirely slept on, even though everyone's kind of talking about it. I think it's like in a lot of ways it's like the people's champion movie for some reason. Like, but that last scene, and I'll just say it, it's like spoilers, like skip a little bit or whatever. But it's the last scene when he's sitting there with his sons and they start playing football.
Yeah.
And the shot is like tracking backwards and up. And that entire time I'm like, put your hands up. And I've explained this to people, and I always think people think I'm weird for things, but it's like I was watching this movie and I was like, put your hands up, you won, put your hands up, you just like, please let me know he knows, right? Like it was one of those things, and then right before it cuts to black, his arms go up and I just started crying.
Yeah.
It was just like the on top of that with the line of I used to be a brother.
Yeah.
And just that thing of like he got out, like I'm literally getting chills right now thinking of that last moment where it's like that movie is so dark and so sad. But man, when it comes to it, it gives you this like sense of hope a little bit. And I think Zac Efron gave one of the best performances of the year.
Yeah.
I think that movie's brilliant, and that last moment just destroyed me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's mine. I loved Iron Claw.
For me, it was the entire second half.
Yeah,
just the entire second half of that movie.
It's a gauntlet. Like it is.
I have reasons to be more emotional about family right now than usual, and so before going into that movie, I was just like, I'm reading the Wikipedia page on these dudes' life, so I can just be any way prepared.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did that. Legitimately glad I did that. I don't think I'd be able to. Don't think I could finish that movie had I not known what I was prepared for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that entire second half. It's when spoilers, I'm not going to say anything specific, but spoilers. Little Jack. Ugh,
yeah.
Can't. Yeah, no, bawling. Dude, I was bawling.
That scene is like,
I don't cry, and I was bawling.
Like that scene felt out of pocket, and then you realize what it's doing, and you're like, oh fuck, it had to be there.
Yeah.
Like it had to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fucking tough one. I think I had by that point like held on enough that I wasn't gonna let myself, and then it exploded right at the end of the movie.
Ooh, see, that was the thing is I was like, okay, I did it. That happened. I did it.
It's one of the few movies this year that made me cry.
Yeah,
not a lot this year did, but that end moment just.
Oh, I am Stonewall Jackson. I don't cry. Mm-hmm. I was bawling, capital B bawling in the movie theater.
Anyway, to
continue onto the same note, let's follow this emotion and best comedy of the year.
Take it away. What's for you? What one?
Mine was D&D.
Yeah,
that movie was really funny.
That would be an honorable mention for me.
That movie was hilarious. I really really liked that movie. The movie's hilarious. That was I missed some of the big. I missed what I think is going to be your number one. And so I think had I actually seen that probably would have been my number one. But with that being said, what's your number one?
Bottoms.
Yeah,
Bottoms is the funniest movie of the year.
Yeah.
Bottom. Honestly, dude, Poor Things is also really funny.
Poor Things was a very funny.
I had No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I missed that one too. I forgot about that one.
It's good. It's not like my favorite thing ever, but it's funny. She does something in that is one of the bravest performances of the year.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bottoms is the funniest. And the next Whatie is action. Do we even need to say
it's John Wick 4?
It's John Wick 4. There's not a question. That's the best action movie of the last decade, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. When did Mad Max Fury Road come out?
So Mad Max Fury Road's 15. So actually, that does
so
those are your two
9 years, 8 years. And the next one is sci-fi, best sci-fi of the year. My other honorable mention for action was Godzilla -1.
Yeah,
that was my other. That movie. Shreds.
And I will also just throw up TMNT again.
Yeah,
another
dude.
Great little movie.
Yeah,
great little action movie.
Sci-fi.
Mine's kind of cheating.
No, okay.
Because it's not sci-fi for most of it, and then out of nowhere it's sci-fi.
Interesting.
Dream Scenario.
Oh, hell, that's one of my honorable mentions.
Okay, I loved Dream Scenario. Like another movie I've thought about just a ton.
I think that is wholly sci-fi.
I think just right at the end is when it gets like sci-fi. Everything before that's a little bit like mystical. You know what I mean?
I would even call that sci-fi.
All right.
I would still because it is speculative fiction, perchance. But no, I think that's fully within scope.
Okay, done deal. Dream Scenario for me. I loved it. I loved the editing of that movie. I loved Nick Cage's performance. I loved the story. I loved what it was doing emotionally. Loved Dream Scenario.
Yeah. My honorable mentions are Dream Scenario, Asteroid City.
Asteroid City.
That movie shreds.
On Variety's list of worst movies of the year, which is
insane,
baffling.
Man, it is wild how many how divisive that movie is. Like there are a lot of people who absolutely love it, and I really really like it. I don't think it's his best movie ever, but it's my favorite that he's made in a bit.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then there are people who despise it, and it's fascinating. I really really like that movie. The Creator. I thought it took a pretty well trod path and did some interesting stuff with it. And then Godzilla -1 was also my my other honorable mention. But my winner is Poor Things.
Yeah.
Ooh, that movie weird as hell and is cool as hell. And I love that it took a weird, fun sci-fi idea. Fun is maybe not the right word, but a weird sci-fi idea. And instead of doing the futuristic version of it, it was like, nah, what if we did this in Elizabethan times or whatever. I don't know anything about. I'm wrong.
It's great.
Don't quote me. I don't care about the monarchy. But that movie is wild, and it does some fascinating, gross ideas within a science fiction world. And I really liked that. That's my favorite.
It's a rad one.
My favorite. Specifically like from a sci-fi perspective, I really love what it did with the material. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, great one. The next Whatie is horror.
I'll do mine really quick because I only saw one horror movie this year.
Yeah.
Scream 6.
Scream 6.
That was the only new horror movie I saw, and I really, really liked it.
Scream, not for me, at least not the best year in horror. A good one.
Yeah.
Not banner like last year, like a banner year for horror. So I went really purely off the scariest movie going experience I had.
I love it.
For me, and that was Talk to Me.
Yeah.
Talk to Me is scary.
Dude, I can't. I literally saw the trailers and I was like, I'm out.
I think there's one scene that is like that, what you're thinking, and the rest of it's like pretty different. But Talk to Me is really good, dude. I like Talk to Me a lot, and it's probably the scariest thing I watched all year.
Hell yeah.
So I like that movie. Anyway.
And the next Whatie the next Whatie Award is for Best Duo.
Best Duo, baby. I have some fun honorable mentions. There's The Boy and the Heron from The Boy and the Heron. Channing Tatum and Salma Hayek from Magic Mike 3.
Love it.
Jennifer Lawrence and Andrew Barth Feldman from No Hard Feelings. They had great chemistry.
I love that.
Mark Ruffalo and Emma Stone from Poor Things. If this was an ensemble thing, it would go to Iron Claw.
Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe
and
in
Emma
Poor
Stone,
Things.
done deal right there. Paul Giamatti and I'm gonna mispronounce the last name, Dominic Sessa.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
That they're so good. Again, that's more of a trio for a lot of it, and then it's a duo.
Yeah.
But I think for me, man, and again, this is me singing the praises of this underappreciated movie, but Iowa Debris and Rachel Sennett for. Bottoms.
Yeah.
They're so good together. I want them to make 10 more of those.
Yeah.
Like, just come on. Let's go. It's rad, dude. Love that.
My winner is a cheat, and it's Barbenheimer. I mean, come on.
That's so funny. That's great.
So good.
Dude, what's good for movies is good for you.
Yeah, baby. That should be the tagline of this podcast is what's good for movies is good for you.
Yeah.
Actually, we're
making shirts that say that.
100%.
For sure. That's it for me.
What's the next award, Spencer?
The next award is Best Thing We Watched, Old or New. So just our favorite new thing that we watched this year.
Do we want to make it old or new, or do we just want to make it old? Like, what was our favorite thing old?
Let's just make it old.
Because
we're doing a favorite this year. Yeah. Let's just do old.
Let's do old. I had a bunch of things that I put on this, and I did not pick one specifically, so I'm cheating.
That's fine.
For me, it was After Yang. I saw it for the first time this year, and then I immediately made us watch it on the podcast.
Immediately, like days later.
Literally. It was so, holy shit, that movie's so good. RRR.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, best movie ever made.
The horror artist movie of all time.
There are two parts of my life. One part before I saw RRR and one part RRR after. Scream. Just Scream.
Fucking A.
Possession.
Oh, sick. Okay.
That movie's wild, and I loved it. And I hated it, but I loved it, and I hated it.
Yeah.
The Hudsucker Proxy. That movie is incredibly slept on, and I am so surprised that there isn't a rabid, frothing, what's the word I'm looking for? Not subculture.
Fan base.
Fandom. What's the
cult following?
Cult following. That is the exact phrase I was looking for. You are a fucking genius. Cult following for that movie. I am surprised there isn't like a frothing cult following for that. In the same way there is for like The Big Lebowski. They have the exact same kind of fascinating, hilarious, interesting, well-made movie. But one has the dude in it, I guess. The Hudson Prophecy is like so much people that I think so much better than people give it credit for. Old Boy. That was a moment of silence for Old Boy. And The Exorcist. Holy shit. Yeah. Turns out one of the best movies ever. Pretty good.
Yeah, surely. I put a big list out on... let's see if I still have
Were
those.
all of those things stuff you recommended to me this year? No, the Possession and After Yang. Everything else was stuff that you recommended.
Oh, I deleted all these. I put a big list out on Instagram of just like screenshots of all the shit. But the big ones I want to talk about here are I Saw the Devil. I'm not recommending this to you.
Nah.
I don't recommend this movie. I just happen to think it's very good.
Yeah.
Take that as you will. After Yang. After Yang is up there for me.
Yeah.
Possession is up there for me. A bunch of movies, man. But dude, friend of the pod, one of my best buddies, one of our good pals, Ethan, recommended when he was on the Texas Chainsaw episode. Recommended One Cut of the Dead, and then he showed me One Cut of the Dead, and I gotta say, holy fuck, it's awesome! It's so good. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Just type in One Cut of the Dead, and hit play. Don't look anything up. Don't look at anything. Whatever. Just go, because it's so fucking good.
What if I did it right now?
Please don't. Please don't. No, dude. Yeah. Well, that one. Just that one.
I love it. And the next award is Best Poster.
I throw out some of my honorable mentions real quick. I love it. The Killer had a great poster. The one of him pointing the gun. Anatomy of a Fall had a really good poster.
Yeah,
I loved the poster for Asteroid City.
I love
the poster for Iron Claw.
That's
the one where it's just his hand up in the black void. Like I really love that poster. I also
really like the group poster. Yep. That's a good one too.
Oh, the one where they're all hugging. Oh, so good. Several others. I think Poor Things had several good posters. I think my favorite was Dream Scenario.
Yeah.
There's the poster where it's like split in the house and stuff. It's so cool. And it's one of those ones you just like kind of look at for a while and like take it all in. I love that poster, but no, that's mine.
My honorable mentions are The Killer, The Iron Claw, Scream 6.
Oh, dude, I thought about talking about Scream 6 with the, yep.
That's a great poster, baby. Dream Scenario, the exact poster you're talking about. I love that one too. Beef. That's got a good poster where they're flipping each other off, and that's a good one. I really like that one. Barbie, all of the character posters were great.
Yes.
The meme potential was infinite. And Poor Things is my winner. I think the character posters for that movie are gorgeous. Holy shit, those posters are gorgeous. And like weird and cool in the exact same way that the movie is. I really, really, really liked what Poor Things did with all of the press materials. And the trailers were weird and cool, and the opening credits and stuff are like where it's like bordering around the screen. Fascinating. I really loved a lot of the design decisions. A lot of the design decisions that were made for the promotion of that movie, I thought were fascinating and really, really cool. Poor Things,
dude. The next Whatie is for Best Cinematography.
So to kick it off, I wanted to mention reiterate some of the movies that I missed this year.
Yeah.
Godland. I think that one, based off of everything I've seen of that movie, I think that might be my winner had I seen it, because that movie looks phenomenally gorgeous, and it's about a photographer. It's like about. That is what the movie is. Maestro, I missed Maestro. That movie looks gorgeous. Saltburn, I've heard that movie is really, really well shot. Zone of Interest. The Color Purple, I heard, is actually like beautiful. Marlowe. So there's some movies that I missed this year that are like on people's like top lists. Would you like me to do my? I don't have a favorite. I didn't pick one. I couldn't.
I didn't either. We both cheated here.
You're all getting awards today, baby.
Yeah. You all did good.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, just a couple. I mean, I like really had a hard time with this, but one I don't think people are talking about for cinematography as much as they should is Spider-Verse. Digital cinematography is cinematography.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that movie is absolutely
like
gorgeous.
the scene when they're hanging upside down looking out at New York and it's all playing. It's like, dude, the framing on it is great. A lot of that movie looks so good, not just because the animation is great, but because they tell the story with where they choose to put their digital camera. I think Spider-Verse has not been talked about enough in terms of its cinematography.
The scene with her and her dad.
Oh my God.
Where it just becomes like abstract and color, and like they're telling so much, they're doing so much visually.
I think cinematography plays a big part of that.
100%.
Godzilla -1.
That
movie looks awesome, and it's shot in a really cool I think specifically the shot where she's like, is that Godzilla? And it's the train. It's all that shit's so good. John Wick Chapter 4.
That's a great answer. I don't know why that isn't on my list.
Poor Things. The Holdovers, Iron Claw. There's a lot of great movies.
The Holdovers should be on my list too.
The Holdovers is a great. It's very simply shot, but it's great. Anyway, those are just some of the ones I thought. Like if I had to pick a favorite, Poor Things maybe, just because that movie's so interesting.
Fascinating, absolutely. Fascinating.
So I don't really. I cheated on this one. I couldn't come up with a favorite.
I couldn't either. So if it makes you feel any better, Oppenheimer. Holy shit.
Oppenheimer.
Shit, that movie looks phenomenal. The Creator. Holy shit, that movie looks phenomenal. And it looks phenomenal for being shot on a consumer camera. That's true. That's true. Asteroid City. God damn it. Wes Anderson doing it again. Nobody makes Wes Anderson movies like Wes Anderson.
Especially not AI.
Especially not AI. Another movie that is on my sleeper list. Past Lives. Fuck, dude. That Celine song. That is her first freaking movie, and she is doing so much with the camera. So much is happening with the way that movie is shot. Holy shit. That movie looks so good. And Barbie. Holy shit. Technicolor Dreamland. Ooh boy, that movie looked good as hell.
Yes, it does.
And then Poor Things. Also holy shit, that movie looks weird and cool, and I love it. The black and white and the color and the speaking of Technicolor, that movie is Technicolor. That movie is very Technicolor. I love it.
The next one, I also don't really have a definitive answer. I do. I had a really hard time, and I listened to like 4 or 5 of these soundtracks. But score, it's Score. This was a fucking year for score, dude. Like it was just great. But for me, Godzilla -1.
That's a good one.
Good score. Past Lives, brilliant, underrated score. Spider-Verse. Great. Poor Things, dude. Poor things,
man.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Like I really, if I had to gun to my head, it would be between, honestly, Spider-Verse and Oppenheimer. I love both of those scores. And then a close third would be Poor Things, I think. I love that. I love that Poor Things score. Anyway, what's yours? Since you have definitive.
My honorable mentions. Poor Things. And The Holdovers. But my definitive winner, I cannot fucking believe how slept on the score for Past Lives is. Dude. Now, okay. I am biased probably because the score is composed by Christopher Bear and Daniel Rawson. They are 2 members of one of my favorite bands ever, Grizzly Bear. I did not know that going into the movie. And watching the movie, I was like, holy fuck, the score is so good for this. It is so good. I cannot believe how slept on that score is. And it will bother me to the end of time. Because I think that score is phenomenal. I think it's gorgeous. I think it is.
It's great. Past Lives is just great. In a frustrating first
I'll
person.
Talk about it more later. And the next Whatie Award is for visual effects. So we're talking specifically about CG and computer generated effects. Spencer, what do you think?
Godzilla -1.
Ooh, with a bullet like
that? With a bullet. For what they were able to do with so little, and it's still...
I don't even know. Do you know what the budget is on that?
No more than $15 million.
What? Okay.
No more than $15 million. Shoestring, by all accounts. And yet, the VFX work essentially perfectly. There's a few things. But they never took me out.
No.
I'm in that movie 100%. Especially, I'm thinking of the city, the first time he attacks a city.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, holy shit. Or the water, the chase scene in the ocean. You're like, oh my God, this is like essentially photoreal. Yeah. Like in so many ways, it's essentially photoreal. Yeah. It's brilliant. I think Godzilla -1 with a bullet for me.
Knowing how cheap they did it for, that will make it into my list.
I also think the creator had great VFX.
Yeah.
I there's other stuff, not to downplay anything else, but for me, Godzilla -1 was such a feat that I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So good.
My honorable mention is Poor Things.
A great one.
I think there's a lot about that movie that looks plasticky and fake, but in a way that serves... that feels so appropriate.
Yeah.
That I love so much. Like all of the chapters, screen, where like cuts to the like kind of like Paris or whatever. Those are so gorgeous and weird, and like MC Escher meets H.R. Geiger in like the best way. Super, super, super cool. But my winner is the creator. I thought that the CG in that movie was phenomenal.
Yep.
And that's when I talk about like, it bothers me that they talk about like that movie being shot on a consumer grade camera. It's like, yeah, but everything else about it is so expensive and well done. That being said, the creator was not a very expensive movie. And that movie, the CG in that movie is great.
Yeah.
Is like capital G great. Yeah. Some of my favorite big Hollywood production CG in years.
Yeah. And a very unconventional way they did it too.
Yeah. I mean, like outside of
way
like,
more like run and gunny kind of thing.
I mean, outside of like Dune or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I think the CG in that movie looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
And the next award is for special effects,
which is different. This is more practical, more tactile. Mine is going to be a little weird because I think Oppenheimer is my runner-up. My honorable mention. I think what they're doing in that movie, like tricks of filmmaking way to make things look like it's so cool. But man, there's something fun about Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. There's something fun about them. The part when they like sink into the sand is real.
Yeah.
It's like it's just real. They vibrate, like the in and out of the box where they're like, she's teleporting into the room. It's like stuff that they had no reason in today's film climate to do practically. They just did practically because. And so watching that movie and just feeling it really was fun and
all
cool.
All of the character designs.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Like come on, man. Like,
yeah.
Shit like that, dude. It's that movie. It was a throwback way of doing filmmaking, and I loved it. I loved the practical effects there.
My honorable mention is D&D. That is one of mine. My other honorable mention is Poor Things.
Yeah.
Dude,
the sets,
the sets, the makeup and grossness and all that kind of shit. Loved it.
Yep.
Absolutely
awesome.
Loved it.
Great.
My winner is boring and it's Oppenheimer.
Not boring at all. Completely deserving.
Deserving, but boring.
The fact that there's not a single completely CGI shot in that movie, unreal, unbelievable, unheard of in today's like I said, today's film climate where everything is. You know what I mean? Unreal. Great. Yep. That's a perfectly good answer. You know what I mean? Like director. We're doing director now.
We're getting into
the more serious
the Waskers.
Yeah.
The
Whaties. They're actually changing it for us.
You're in my town now, boys. I got 3 minutes of playtime.
What
are you doing up there?
My runner-ups. This is boring. I'm going to be honest with everyone. My runner-ups are Celine Song.
Yep.
Unreal. Anytime somebody does something that amazing on a first thing, it's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Alexander Payne for The Holdovers.
Yep.
Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yep.
Chad Stahelski for John Wick.
Ooh, that's a great
John
one.
Wick 4, man, that movie, he directed the hell out of that movie.
100%.
A lot of stuff I'm not talking about. There's so much. Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things. Like, there's so many things I could talk about here.
Yeah.
But Greta Gerwig for Barbie. I think she directed the hell out of Barbie. The answer is Christopher Nolan for me. Like
that's the answer.
What he was able to control and do for a 3-hour biopic is just unreal.
Yeah,
it's unreal. It is a masterpiece.
He made a 3-hour montage not feel like a 3-hour montage,
and it's a 3-hour montage of people talking about science.
Yeah,
and it's fucking captivating.
Yeah,
like oh god.
Yeah, it's Nolan. I would definitely make sure that in that honorable mentions is Yorgos. Like, I know you already mentioned it, but like, I want to solidify that as one of my honorable mentions because I just thought that movie is just wild in the coolest way. It's my first Yorgos movie. I had not seen a Yorgos movie.
I'm
going to watch every single one of his movies.
They're all so different from this,
dude. And I know, and I'm so excited for that.
Yeah,
and I love. I have been interested in every single one of his movies that have come out. I just have not been able. I haven't been in the right headspace or whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the answer's Nolan.
Then animated movie. What are you thinking?
So I think we might differ on this.
Probably.
So my honorable mentions are TMNT.
Yep. Fucking banger.
And Spider-Man.
Hey, dude, look, I get it. When What Your Answer Is came out this year.
It's The Boy and the Heron.
Shit's incredible. Like
it is. Look, I haven't seen every single one of his movies, so I can't really talk on this with a bunch of knowledge. But from what I gather, from what I've seen, this feels like the best movie he's made in years, and feels like the culmination of his entire career in a lot of ways. I think The Boy and the Heron is phenomenal and like one of the most Miyazaki movies. You know what I mean? It is the most Miyazaki in the best way, and I really loved it.
It's brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions, just to be more, the Boy and the Heron, honorable mention. TMNT, honorable mention.
Yeah.
I have to throw it on just because in a shapes and colors way, my brain enjoyed this, but Super Mario, like I'm embarrassed. My letter view,
Don't be embarrassed.
my letterbox review is literally, I'm ashamed that I enjoyed this.
Hey man.
But my answer is Spider-Verse. I think it just like Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse is just a goddamn masterpiece. Yeah. Like, I know I'm the comic book superhero nerd, but like that movie fucking is just great.
Phenomenal.
In terms of things that like pushed animation boundaries, it did that again. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I've never seen a movie like this.
Yeah.
In Spider-Verse, I said the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, Across the Spider-Verse is fucking great. And I love it. Anyway, yeah.
I need to watch that one again.
I've seen it twice. Yeah. I saw it in theaters before they patched the audio shit, and then I saw it after they patched the audio shit. That.
I definitely saw it after.
But I loved that movie, man.
Yeah.
It just emotionally speaking does so much with such interesting things. And I have a soft spot for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I as much as of a Batman guy as I am, Spider-Man's the other side of that coin.
Yeah.
And I love Spider-Man.
And the next award is Best Screenplay. We are not differentiating between adapted and original because that is a stupid idea and a stupid construct. How do you who do you want to go first?
I don't really have an answer definitive. I picked one, but I'm going to shout out some stuff. I think for me personally, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's very rare that I can say a movie doesn't feel like an ending, but more like a goodbye.
No.
And
well said.
And to me, that was just so poignant and beautiful and what a last image of a movie to end on, which is dumb because it's a talking raccoon yelling, but it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So that one for me, very emotional. I think Spider-Verse also is another like really fascinating screenplay. But Poor Things, holy shit, Poor Things is great. Iron Claw, The Holdovers, oh my god, Bottoms, great year for screenplays by the way. Like Godzilla -1 for a Godzilla movie to have the humans be the best part, unreal, unheard of. Dream Scenario, one of the most original screenplays of the year. Anatomy of a Fall, one of the most like takes you on a journey kind of things. Past Lives, fucking Past Lives. I did things emotionally I didn't really think were possible. Barbie, I gotta give a shout out to Barbie, man.
To the Barbs.
And then if I had to pick one, it's Oppenheimer for the same reason we talked about directing. That screenplay is written unconventionally. It's written all in first person. All in first person.
Fascinating.
At least, I say all in first, but all the parts that are subjective are written in first person, and so I don't know about the other parts. But
fascinating.
But the way he was able to mix times and like periods, and then make the conversations engaging in the way he did, make the montage. It's unreal to me how well written and how good at your craft you have to be to do that for a 3-hour movie in the way that he did it. I can't really think of many other examples like that. And so for me, Oppenheimer really might be it, but it could go to any of those. I think they're all brilliant.
For me, I have 2 honorable mentions and a winner. The Holdovers.
Oh God.
The Holdovers. Man, that movie, is so loving but it's like tough and like, man, it's like nobody is unscathed and yet everyone is so lovingly crafted. Man, that movie is very well written. My other honorable mention is Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, banger, just absolute banger. My winner is Past Lives.
Yeah, like I get it.
It takes a premise that I think could have been very this is going to sound really harsh. Could have been very like bargain bin Hallmark almost.
Yeah. No,
holy shit, does it take again, like it's not easy on these characters. But at the same time, it has so much love for them, and it doesn't make anyone the bad guy.
Nope.
Like, it's just...
They're all just human.
They are all just human and complicated and trying to figure all of this out together and against each other, but with each other. Like, this movie could have made one of the characters the bad guy.
Yep.
And you could have been like... Oh, well, you know, like, the Romeo and Juliet, the love that could never be. No, it isn't that. It's just a complicated situation where, you know, you're caught up in emotions from a time gone by and from a person that you used to know. But you've changed and they've changed and the world has changed and you've met new people and you've lost people.
Yeah.
And, oh, God, that movie, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. That movie just like did something to my brain chemistry. That movie, oof, man. And again, like that movie is just so phenomenal and so phenomenally written. I cannot sing its praises enough. And the next award is for not best acting, but most acting. We gave this award out last year and we'll do it forever. When I talk about most acting, I talk about, you know, the people who are chewing up the scenery or they're wearing the wigs and prosthetics and fake teeth. And I'm talking about Rami Malek and I often, it has been said, and I very much agree with that, often the best actor or best actress award, most best actor, goes to not the best acting, but the most acting. I think the most blatant example of that was when Rami Malek won over Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
That is, I think, a phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, I think Rami Malek's performance is great.
It's not
the
Bradley.
best.
Yeah, no, it's
because he's doing the thing and he's singing the songs and he's wearing the teeth.
Yep.
And you got to know, ooh, it's hard to talk with teeth like that in your mouth. So this year we are doing it again. Who is your award winner for most acting?
So I want to say it's funny that we talk about you said it perfectly, and just to reiterate, most acting does not mean bad.
Most acting does not mean bad, and I think we might have the same answer.
Possibly.
Okay.
I think maybe, but a weird one. Robert Pattinson for The Boy and the Heron.
Ooh, okay, very different, and
Dude,
I love it.
No,
yes,
that's not my answer. That's runner-up. That's an honorable mention.
Okay.
Great, and that
Holy
he's
shit.
phenomenal in that movie. But man, when you know that's Robert Pattinson, you see what he's doing. He's like, he went fucking God mode on the mic. Like,
I look every other time. I even no scoped this with Megan the other day. We were watching Miyazaki Spirited Away. We were watching Spirited Away, and I go, "Is that the voice for Squidward?" And Megan looked it up, and it was the voice actor who plays Squidward.
I love that.
I'm very good at noticing that. I cannot hear him. I cannot hear Robert Pattinson. I can only hear the Heron.
I need him to just start doing what Mark Hamill does and also just be an incredible voice actor.
I would love that.
Anyway, so that, and then I also think Glenn Howerton for Blackberry. He's given a huge performance.
I love it.
And it is awesome. He's
love it.
so good in Blackberry. Now my answer is Ryan Gosling.
It's
Ryan Gosling for Barbie. Man, like if
he's doing a lot, but it's all great.
It's like that's the thing is if he got the Oscar for supporting, I wouldn't be mad about it. Like,
yeah,
I would just kind of be in. Like, it's sick.
He again, like we have been Ryan Gosling stans for a very long time.
Yes, we have.
We know what that man is capable of, and it was just my favorite thing this year to see him do that. To see him just go all the fuck out and just become Ken.
Yeah.
And you know what? He is Ken-uff.
Brilliant and beautiful, and I love it very much.
What's the next award, Spence?
The next award is going to be Best Supporting Actress.
I don't have any honorable mentions. I only have a winner.
Oh, then throw it out, please.
Divine Joy Randolph.
Okay.
Holy shit, she is so fucking good in that movie. She is like the core of that movie in a lot of ways and a lot of times. Like, she is like the beating heart of it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, she is so good in that movie.
She is my winner as well.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple honorable mentions.
Pop them out. I love to hear them.
I'm going to mispronounce her name.
Don't get me wrong. There were so many phenomenal supporting actresses.
The kid from The Creator.
Yeah.
I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought she was so good.
A phenomenal child performance. Or just a phenomenal performance. Like,
yeah.
To limit it to child, I think is belittling. No, she was just phenomenal.
Just great performance. I think the other one for me is Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Dude, when she gets that scene to shine, you're like, oh God.
There she is. That's why they cast her.
Yeah,
I agree.
but I think the whole movie she's doing more than you realize.
No, I
you know
agree
what
with
I mean?
that. I just my issue with I just wish she was more integrated in it.
Oh yeah, I get that.
And that is in no way a dig against Emily Blunt's performance. But that was the reason why it didn't spring to my mind.
Anyway, okay, so that's Divine Joy Randolph. I hope she wins the Oscar. I think she is unbelievable. I think she's wonderful.
Right?
Yeah. Best supporting actor. Yeah. Best supporting actor.
I have.
Hot take. This is the strongest category this year.
Oh, very hot take.
I like going through, and I didn't even write down all the original ideas I had for this, but I think just in terms of the supporting actor category is so fucking varied and strong.
That's true. That's true.
It's wild. Because the other ones I feel like I have a pretty easy answer for.
Do we think we have a top? Do you think you have a top? Do you think we're in agreement on what the top one is?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What about now? Do you feel better?
No, I don't. Okay. I feel worse. I'll rattle off a couple since you.
To podcast listeners, I was just looking deep into his eyes, trying to see if we could communicate.
I'm gonna rattle off some. Holt McElhaney, the dad from Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. Dude. Jeremy Allen White from Iron Claw.
Yeah. That's a great answer.
Guy is unbelievable. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
From Barbie. Like, I just think
he's on my honorable mentions as well.
Charles Melton from May December.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
You want to talk?
You watch that?
You want to talk about best acting versus most acting? That is the literal perfect example of like, holy God, what you're doing in this movie is unbelievably understated.
You that said that? I think that you may have mentioned that, or I can't. Either you or somebody else I heard said that exact thing.
It is unreal what he's doing in that movie, and really, like, genuinely might be the best performance of the year. Like, maybe. He's from Riverdale. So I think for me the winner. Oh, also he plays Solo. He's in Oppenheimer. What's his name? Alden Ehrenreich in Oppenheimer is so good, man. Like, this was a fucking banger of a year for the supporting category.
Let me give you my supporting, and then I think we'll talk about the winner. TOU from Past Lives.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hogan Majaro. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm an asshole. Also from Past Lives.
Yeah.
That dude, again, he could have been the villain.
Yep.
But no, like, it's such a loving look at this person who's complicated and he's trying to do the right thing, but he's also like...
He has feelings about it.
He's very conflicted about it. And again, he could have been the bad guy, whether it was in the writing or the directing or the performance. He could have been the bad guy so easily, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
But he just wasn't. He, again, in many ways, was like an emotional core during that part of that movie, where it's like he is the one like in the crossfire. But like it doesn't like take a jeering look at that person.
It does not.
He should be lauded for that performance. Dominic Sessa.
Yeah. Why didn't I bring him up? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, holy shit. Like, isn't that his like first movie?
I think they found him at the school they were filming at.
Yeah. Dude, holy shit, he was so good.
His line read on like, maybe y'all can stand around and read books all day, but I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Jesus! Like, it's so good.
It's like they pulled him directly out of 1973.
He needs to play Bob Dylan in the Bob Dylan. Like,
wow, that's a good fucking... I'm into that. Like, and then Ryan Gosling, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And the winner...
Robert Downey Jr.
RDJ. I mean, like...
The man is so good in that movie.
Oh, God, I'm so glad to see him, like, back.
Yeah.
Ooh. To see him, like... And this might sound mean, to see him give a shit again. Mm-hmm. Not to say that he didn't give a shit about any of the Marvel stuff, but it feels like since the Marvel stuff, he hasn't given a shit.
Yeah.
But, man, he is freaking good in that movie.
He is unbelievable and giving a both big and understated performance. I think he's been praised a lot, but maybe not enough.
Yeah. Actress, there is one winner.
For me, there's one winner.
There are many to mention in the honorable mentions, but there is one winner.
Okay.
Honorable mentions, Greta Lee.
I was just going to say Greta Lee. Unbelievable.
The first time I saw her was in Russian Doll with Natasha Lyonne.
Okay.
And she's just this like funny, adorable like side character. And then I see her in this and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
Jeez, dude. And Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie for sure.
Holy shit. Man, she is
built
perfect. Meant to play that character. Yeah. I cannot imagine a better pairing between a performer and a script.
Yeah.
But the winner. Or do you have other honorable mentions?
Lily Gladstone.
Yeah. Oh, is that an honorable mention or is that the winner?
Honorable mention for me.
Whoa. Okay, I have no freaking clue who your winner is then, because Lily Gladstone is my winner.
Emma Stone.
Oh, okay. That's a great answer.
Like
Fuck.
Emma Stone, dude.
Why is that not my honorable mention?
Yeah. Emma Stone me.
I started writing this, my answers before I went and saw Poor Things.
Okay, Emma Stone for me is the best actress of the year for me. Like, she's just unreal. And not to anything on Lily Gladstone. If Lily Gladstone won, I'd be like dude, over the moon.
Emma Stone is doing, again, she's doing a lot, but man, it's fucking hard what she is doing.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I for me, Lily Gladstone, it's like there is so much there, and it is all here. It is all here. Like it is not. She like she barely speaks in the movie, and yet it is. You feel everything, and yet she gives nothing away.
Yeah.
Ooh, holy shit, that is a powerhouse of a performance
for sure.
Holy shit, you are not wrong in any way, shape, or form about Emma Stone. She is so fucking phenomenal. Any other person in that movie, I don't think could have done it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Best actor.
Best actor. You kick it off with some honorable mentions if you have any.
I thought I had to sneeze.
He thought he had to sneeze, ladies and gentlemen, but he didn't do it.
So for me, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, that is my honorable mention as well. Pauly G.
I also think Zac Efron.
Yeah,
like he is not nominating for anything in the actual awards, and because of that, I like want to give it to him for the fake one, our fake one. But
fuck that, our real one.
Our real one.
Like no,
yeah,
like
it's a real prestige. We're gonna add this to his IMDb.
Nominated.
Whatie nominee, but it's Cillian.
Yeah,
it's Cillian.
Yeah.
The fucking Herculean effort of that people compared his screen time to everyone else in that movie, and it's more than double, even like well over double the closest person to him.
Yeah,
he populates that movie in a way that is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
it is an unreal performance, and I think he's like the one of these that's like absolutely a shoo-in to win.
I don't even know if that's true.
Really?
Yeah. Funny enough, like, look, don't get me wrong. I completely think he's deserving. But like, Pauly G has got some heat.
Yeah.
For the
I would love it, dude.
I would love that too.
I love Paul Giamatti,
and I think that movie deserves its flowers. So it's like, look, Cillian. It's Cillian. I will truly. It's Cillian.
Okay. Christopher Nolan on stage went Cillian.
Yeah. Thank you. I love that. Cillian Murphy, like that movie has already gotten many flowers and will continue to get more flowers. So it's like if only for like the little movie that could kind of award, I would not be upset with that at all. But the answer is Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. We have one more to give.
We got one more to give.
Our favorite movie of the year.
Again, a lot of movies missed this year that I know would be on this list.
Mine is in loose order.
Oh, fascinating.
And then my number one is like my number one.
Yeah.
My top five are it's a pretty big gap between five and everything below it, I think. But that's just a testament to how good five up are.
Yeah.
For me, it's, I just ranked like the 19 movies that I could kind of really stay out. Scream 7. I loved Scream 7. TMNT, Barbie.
7?
6.
Is it 6 or is it 7?
6. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. I was like, wait, am I
wrong?
6.
No, it's 6. Sorry. Scream 6. Scream 7 is not happening. Scream 6. TMNT Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
Barbie. Beau is Afraid, Dungeons and Dragons, Air, Blackberry, Magic Mike's Last Dance, Past Lives, Godzilla -1, The Boy and the Heron, Bottoms, John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah.
And then I think my top, and I'm embarrassed by my number one a little bit. Like I get it. It's going to be very on brand for me. But it's my top 5 are Iron Claw, in kind of no particular order. Iron Claw, The Holdovers, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse. I think my favorite movie of the year was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Whoa!
Just in terms of like, James Gunn in recent years has become a very big inspiration for me.
Yeah.
It's rare to find a filmmaker who you can movie to movie watch him evolve.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so watching him go from like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 to all the stuff that happened in his personal life to the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And how different the Suicide Squad is than anything he's ever made. And then watching how that informed how he made Guardians 3.
Yeah.
And I love the Guardians movies. They're always the ones I point to. And it's like, but you can make superhero movies good. You can make them great.
100%.
And Rocket Raccoon has always been like a weirdly special character to me. And then I'm always like, you can do this. You can make a talking tree and a talking raccoon the emotional core of your movie. It's possible.
Yeah.
And like I said, the end of that movie isn't an ending, it's a goodbye. And I've never seen that. I've never seen that done like that. Like it affected me. I saw it 3 times in theaters and I cried all 3 times. Like everything about it worked for me. It just is a very meaningful movie to me. And now to watch him take this next step in his career also feels impactful. He's making Superman. He's running DC.
Nothing but the best for his career at DC. I want nothing but the best for that studio to continue to make good movies.
And I have like complete faith in him. And I don't know, Guardians 3 just really struck me. And because Guardians 3, of course, I don't think it's the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
But I think it's the one for me that I loved the experience of watching it. It was emotional to me. There are scenes in it that are like emotional terrorism. Like it's actually like fucking hard to watch, but it's also ends on this like hopeful note of family and having to say goodbye to your family sometimes. And I don't know, man, Guardians 3 was really, really meaningful to me. And I love it dearly. Like I really love that movie.
Yeah.
My other answer was probably Spider-Verse or Oppenheimer would be up there. Cause I think about Oppenheimer a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, Guardians 3,
too,
clown on me in the comments for picking a Marvel movie.
No, but like you're so right about so much of that, about all of it. You're right about all of it. But yeah, like describing it as a goodbye is a beautiful way of putting it, and I completely agree.
Yeah. So I'm taking it away.
My list roughly from the bottom up, like from these are all
bottoms
my
up.
The Killer.
Okay.
TMNT.
Yeah.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Hell yes.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Fuck yeah.
Air. Oh, so slept on. Godzilla -1. Dream Scenario. Asteroid City. Barbie. We're in the top 10 at this point.
Oh, Dream Scenario should have been on mine, so should a couple others. Yeah.
The Iron Claw. Spider-Verse. Poor Things. The Boy and the Heron. The Holdovers. Killers of the Flower Moon. Oppenheimer. And my number one, with no surprises, not a surprise found in the room, was Poor Things.
Yeah.
No, did I say Poor Things?
You said
Past Lives. Past Lives. Like I said, that movie, again, especially for a directorial debut. Fuck that. Regardless of it being a directorial debut. I think it is, that, again, like changed my brain chemistry. Like it just is such a loving, complicated, tough, beautiful movie about, the way that we change ourselves and the way that we change others and the way that the gravity that we have and the pull that gravity has on others and the way that, like an asteroid passing a planet, you feel the pull of something that has passed before, and yet, that is not where you need to be. And again, like that movie could have been such a different, less good version of itself.
Yeah.
That movie does so much with camera. The movie does so much with editing. That movie does so much with score. And it's all subtle. It's all quiet. It's all small. And yet all of those small things build to a masterpiece in my eyes. It's like, on a technical perspective, it's like, like Oppenheimer, there is so much more going on and is telling such a larger story, and it insanely perfectly nails it. But in that at the same time, it's like Past Lives just like deals with something that is so much more universal and like meaningful to the everyday person that I think we've all felt in some way, shape, or form, or felt something similar. So Past Lives just was
it's a great movie.
Yeah, holy shit, dude. Damn.
Great year for movies. Ended up being a really good year for movies.
We had Barbenheimer this year.
We had Barbenheimer.
We didn't get Dune, but we got Barbenheimer.
Dude, if we had had Dune, that would have shook up the numbers.
That would have fucking changed some scores, baby.
Dude, that new trailer for Dune.
Dude,
where he's like, silence! Yeah. I'm just like,
recommendations?
No, I think this is this is our longest episode ever, by the way. This is nearly 2 hours.
Did we not get close last year?
I don't think that close.
I
think I was like more
what's up? If you've made it this far, you're a real one.
You a G, dude. Like
if you fuck it, I'm gonna do it. In the comments of this video, no, I'm not doing that. I was gonna do like in the comments of this video, put Polly G is the king of all things, and I'll send you a digital high five. I was gonna say something like money, but no, I'm not doing that. I'll send you a high five, and I'll send a picture of me giving you a kiss.
Yeah, there you go. Incentive.
But
yeah, in all seriousness, this podcast has been very, very fun.
Yeah.
We're excited. We're going to be doing some new stuff this year, trying out some new format things. And
hopefully we'll have stuff to, like, personal stuff that we'll actually be able to talk about and promote on a personal creative level.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be good times. This is a good year of movies. Enjoy movies. Great times. I'm very proud of all the stuff we've been working on, and I'm proud of our movie watching habits this year. We did really good.
Yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, please. Review, do all those things. We love that anybody listens to this thing. Yeah. And we would love for more people to listen to it too.
We really, I think both of us really want like a healthy discourse on movies.
Yeah.
As a thing of just like share, because the whole point of this is sharing things we love.
Yeah.
Like I think just if you have recommendations that are similar to these, just throw 5 or 6 out and just start that kind of thing, man. Like I think that's what we really want this to be, is a fun little space to just talk about the things you love more than just be critical of things. Like, because we're critical on here, but
sure.
But we're also talking about it from lesson standpoints.
And we're also talking about in the context of things that we love. Though.
Yeah, it's like
we want these things to be better because they deserve it.
We always talk about it's like everyone, whenever the people who listen to it was like, oh, you reviewed that one. It's like I don't think of it as reviews, man. I think of it as a discussion about how something changed us or how it affected our movie watching habits or whatever. It's much bigger than just a review to me. It's like
there is some criticism involved.
Yeah, and we're goofy. None of this is all that serious.
No,
but
I would never. No, like we are not film critics. Film critics are different, and they deserve respect.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
yes,
like real film critics, like actual film criticism, not bargain bin YouTube film armchair film critics, but like actual film criticism is a wonderful art within its own, within itself. And I would never deign to call myself a film critic at this point in my movie going career. Mm-hmm. It's been a good year, my dude.
Let's fucking keep
go.
It going.
Let's do it again.
That's the fucking end. End it. Cut.
Bye.